Good evening. My name is Chuck Iova, and I'll be presiding over this evening's Planning Board meeting, September 10th, 2025. First order of business, for those in attendance under the provisions of the open meeting law, attendees are being informed that this meeting is being recorded by Urban Media Arts and will be live streamed on Malden Access MATV YouTube site. I have not been notified that any other video or audio recording of this meeting will occur. Next thing we will do is do our roll call, and we'll start with Maria.
Maria Schroeder, Planning Board.
Ronnie Raj Verma, Planning Board.
Todesh Gabrasilasi, Planning Board.
Diane Shuha, Planning Board.
Ken Antonucci, Planning Board.
Chuck Iova, Planning Board.
Pat Hayes, Planning Board.
Eric Henry, Planning Board.
Stephanie Stone, Planning Board. Michelle Ferguson, Planning Board.
Excuse me, we have one member absent this evening, and Michelle Ferguson will participate in the 3 public meetings instead of Risa Gray. Okay. Michelle, the first item on the agenda is 105A Salem Street.
Yes, that is before you for a request for a waiver of your planning board rules and procedures, specifically section E9, the filing requirements regarding a traffic impact study. The underlying special permit petition is for 12 units and residential units, and so that is triggering the requirement for a traffic impact study. The petitioner has filed a request for a waiver of that filing requirement. This is not a hearing on the petition. This is just a meeting where you will discuss and hopefully make a decision on the requested waiver. So what you have in your packages is a copy of the petitioner's request, which is a memorandum dated August 4th, 25 from Michael Whitmore of Roundel 47. He represents the petitioner, Volunteers of America, Massachusetts. So he submitted the requested waiver. We forwarded that on to our peer reviewer. For this petition, it is BSC Group. So you have a copy of the initial peer review, which is a letter from BSC Group dated September 9th, 2025. They summarize what they've reviewed. They summarize their comments, which is on the last page. And we sent that on to the petitioner. The petitioner then submitted a response, which is another memorandum from Roundel Group, which is dated, I thought I had it here in front of me. I believe it's dated September 9th. 2025. So then that was sent on to the peer reviewer for additional comments and review. So you have another peer review report dated September 10th, 2025 from BSC Group. And specifically, the outstanding questions or issues they had raised in the initial peer review. You can see in comments, the first 2 were addressed. And the third one has to do with site distance and intersection site distance analysis at the site exit on Salem Street. The petitioner proposes to provide that analysis as part of the special permit process in advance of the hearing so that the city peer review will review it and comment prior to the special permit. And the city peer review's response was that they will review the site distance analysis as part of the special permit process. So the other issue that was raised had to do with emergency vehicle access and circulation through the site. The peer reviewer had requested emergency vehicle turning movement figures, and petitioner was in the process of providing that. when we were able to obtain the review and recommendation of the fire department of the proposed site plan. You do have a copy of that site plan, by the way, too. And I will read this into the record, dated September 10th, 2025. It's from Deputy Fire Chief James Dockery IV. It reads, "We have reviewed the site plan for 105 Salem Street. Due to the building being 2.5 stories in height, the fact that it is situated on a corner lot with city streets on two sides of the structure, coupled with the removal of the first space on the Albion Street entrance into the parking lot, and the width of the parking lot exit on Salem Street, we do not foresee any issues regarding fire department apparatus access to the building." So they gave their opinion, which we then also sent on to the peer reviewer, so we received a follow-up response, because we just wanted to make sure, are these emergency vehicle turning templates necessary or not, now that we have the opinion of the fire department. And in this email dated September 10th, 2025, the peer reviewer wrote, "Since the fire department reviewed and found it acceptable, we do not need to review a turning movement figure. The fire department sign-off will address that point," and that's signed by Amy Allen of BSC Group. So that issue was resolved, and then there was a final issue that had to do with a passenger vehicle backing out onto the sidewalk. That spot has been removed, so that was resolved, and then the final issue had to do with the handicap van accessible parking stall, and that was also resolved. So in sum, BSC recommends approval of the TIS waiver after submission of the above listed materials. And so the updated comment is based on responses to the comments, the revised site plan received. Today, BSC recommends approval of the TIS waiver, that's the traffic impact study waiver. As noted in our responses, and only comment 3A is still applicable, we will review site distance calculations as part of the special permit process. So at this time, I can answer any questions about the requested waiver. Again, we're not reviewing the special permit petition. We will hopefully schedule that to occur next month, a public hearing, and you'll have the chance to review the whole proposal. This, again, is a request for waiver. So my recommendation is that you grant the requested waiver, subject to petitioner providing the requested site distance calculations and analysis for city peer review in advance of the special permit hearing.
Thank you. Michelle, appreciate that. Does anyone have any questions for Michelle? No questions for Michelle? Okay, very good. It seems pretty straightforward, and our peer reviewer is on board and recommends allowing them to submit the site distance calculations and analysis prior to the special permit hearing. If that's the case, unless anyone has any other questions, is there a motion? Ken Antonucci.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to grant the request to waive the traffic impact study
Very good. Is there a second?
With that, excuse me,
with the,
with that condition?
with the condition that the petitioner provides the requested information to BSC prior to the special permit hearing.
Thank you.
Diane Chuha seconds it.
Yep.
Okay, let me,
You could just do, it's a majority vote to pass.
oh, okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. Okay. The second item on the agenda is Overlook Ridge Drive permit application for an approval not required.
Right, so this is a petition filed under the subdivision control law, seeking your approval and endorsement of an approval not required plan. You do have a copy of the proposed plan. You also have a copy of the July 24th, 25 cover letter that was prepared by the petitioner's attorney explaining, bless you, explaining the plan. The plan essentially is dividing this parcel, what was parcel A, into two separate parcels, parcel A2 and parcel A1. The majority of the parcel in question here is, of both parcels, is in Revere. So Revere has already signed off on this plan. It's now before you to sign off because there is a section of land in Malden, approximately 12,807 square feet in Malden. That's that southern, or the western section of this parcel A2. This parcel does have frontage on Overlook Ridge Drive. It also, the other parcel being created has frontage on Salem Street. These are not intended or proposed as buildable lots. They are going to be part of the new Overlook Ridge Drive roadway when, if and when that is realigned. So the recommendation is that you approve the plan and you authorize the chair to endorse.
So it's basically an approval not required, which means they've got the required frontage on a public way or a recognized roadway. And as the name says, approval not required. It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it means it's not required as a full-blown subdivision. It's not a subdivision.
Thank you, Michelle.
You do need your approval, though.
Yes, does anyone have any questions? No questions. Is there a motion to allow endorsement of the approval not required plan? Approve and endorse the approval not required plan. Ken Antonucci.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to, for the chairman to approve and endorse the approval not required plan.
Thank you. Is there a second? Pat Hayes.
I'll second.
Thank you. Pat Hayes has seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Yep. Okay, very good. Okay. And the next item on the agenda is regarding proposal to widen and relocation plan for portions of Malden Hospital Road and Savin Street.
Okay, so as some of you may recall, or you all may recall, when you granted the special permit back in case number 2310, which was in July of 2023, there were a couple components to the plan. You were reviewing the plan for the new hospital facility, but there was a lot of other site work and development work that you were also reviewing. One of the conditions in your special permit was prior to, and this was based on the plan that they showed proposed relocation and widening of Hospital Road and Savin Street. Also, petitioner proposed to reconstruct Hospital Road between Savin Street and Murray Hill Road. So you included certain conditions One of which was that the petitioner redesign and reconstruct Hospital Road, Murray Hill Road intersection so that a single-unit truck, SU-30, and a fire truck are able to turn to and from Hospital Road without crossing into the opposing travel lane. So when you look at the set of plans, if you turn to sheet 3, that is showing the Hospital Road, Murray Hill Road intersection that is the subject of this plan. So this is going to involve a taking by the city of this section of land, 290 square feet, to widen or to reconstruct that intersection so that the trucks can make the turn. So that's one part of this plan. The proposal also included straightening a portion of Hospital Road in the Savin Street area. And this had to do with the location of the proposed sidewalk and bus pullover area. So you also had a condition in the special permit that any reconfiguration of the right-of-way Hospital Road shall require approval by the city engineer, approval of the DPW Commission. Any abandonment and transfer by the city of portions of the existing public right-of-way shall require approval by the city council. So that's why this plan was filed. The DPW Commission is the authority who would alter the relocation and do the reconfiguration. They're the authorized entity in the city to do that. So a petition will be filed with the DPW Commission. Pursuant to state law, the DPW Commission needs to refer it to you to ask for your recommendation. You have 45 days to make it. So we're trying to get ahead of this. So this is the plan that's going to be filed with the DPW Commission. I don't know if it's been filed yet. But what's here before you tonight is to make a recommendation to the DPW Commission of these proposed 2 takings and 2 discontinuances. You can see, again, it's shown on 3 different pages. So pages 1 and 2 are showing the sections of Hospital Road and Savin Street that are being, in one case it's being widened, in another case it's actually, the width of it's being reduced. Hospital Road, that is, and then a little small section of Savin Road, Savin Street, excuse me, is actually being reduced as well. So, city engineer has reviewed this plan. City engineer recommends approval of this plan. Based on that, I am also recommending to you that you recommend to DPW Commission approval of this. The second piece of this has to do with the city council. They are in the approval process. So they've reviewed this and they're in the process. Because it involves transfer of public land to a private entity and it also involves taking of private land for public purpose, they have to be involved. That's why you had written that in the condition. So they're working on that. That is a separate part of this. But the taking and the discontinuance are the underlying pieces of the DPW's relocation. So you're directly going to make the recommendation back to the DPW Commission. And the final thing I will say is this plan is also going to come back to you as an approval not required plan. You may recall just earlier this year, you looked at an approval not required plan that designated the new development site, the new, the Malden, what's called the Malden community parcel. Actually, there were 2 Malden community parcels. And then also a separate Hallmark Health System parcel. So you did that, approval not required, I think it was back in April. That was endorsed and recorded. So this is going to update that plan, which is why it's going to come back to you for the approval not required. It's not here right now for approval not required. It's just here right now for you to make a recommendation to DPW Commission.
Okay, thank you, Michelle. Does anyone have any questions for Michelle? Stephanie Stone.
Thank you.
Yep.
So the taking of the land by the city would be for the bus stop and the giving would be for the sidewalk?
One of the takings has to do with the Murray Hill Road corner. So it's actually, I'm not 100% sure on whether the transfer has happened yet, but it will be a taking from the Malden community parcel. So I don't know if the city's going to own that or a city entity's going to own that, but that's one of them. So that corner there to widen that intersection. The second taking is shown on page 2, and that is where Hospital Road is being widened after the bus turnaround. Not turnaround, the bus pullover. So, no, the part about the abandoning is because the bus turnaround in part of the hospital site, as were developed and as were proposed to be developed, it was constructed in the street, in the right-of-way. So that's why we would be abandoning or discontinuing that section, so that it can be used for bus, for their sidewalk and part of their site.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Any other questions for Michelle? Is there a motion? Ken Antonucci.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make the recommendation to, well, how do I say it? The motion to recommend to the DPW to approve the plan as shown with the 2 takings and the realignment of Hospital Road.
Now, would that be after the approval of the city engineer, the city solicitor, and approval of the city council?
Yes, after those 3 approvals by the other entities.
Very good.
So you want to say subject to the approval of those 3?
Sure, yes.
So what did you say, city engineer, city solicitor, and city
And
council?
City Council.
Okay. I have that.
Okay, is there a second?
Pat is trying
Oh, Pat trying to do it?
to debate, I don't know.
Oh, I can second.
Oh,
Microphone's on.
Stephanie Stone, okay. I don't know why it wasn't working, Pat.
Didn't work on the last time either, right?
Yeah,
Didn't
no,
work
that
last
one-
time either, right?
Okay, well, Stephanie seconded it. Give me a second. Okay, Michelle, whenever you're ready.
Ken Antonucci,
Yes.
Diane Chuha,
Yes.
Michelle Ferguson,
Yes.
Tawadej Gebrselassie,
Yes.
Patrick Hayes,
Yes.
Eric Henry,
Yes.
Stephanie Stone,
Yes.
Ronnie Raj Verma,
Yes.
Chuck Ioven.
Yes.
So that motion passed, right?
Yep, 9-0.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, very good. We'll give Michelle a moment to collect her stuff. Well, actually, while we're waiting for Michelle to do that, why don't we go to Ronnie about update from the Community Preservation Committee?
So we did not meet last month for our August meeting. We have a scheduled meeting for September 17th, so I'll have a summer update in our October meeting.
Very good, thank you. And Michelle, anything for, I don't believe we've received any updates on master plan activities or open space and recreation plan.
No, well, I have no updates.
Okay. I will tell the board that I'm trying to organize another meeting for this month of the master planning activities, and we'll, like Ronnie, we'll hopefully have more to share at our October 8th meeting. Okay, next order of business is the election of officers. I will have to vacate the chair, and I will turn it over to Ken Antonucci. Ken?
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair. So this is the annual election of officers. I would like to entertain any motions, any nomination for chairman for this coming year. So if anybody has a, yep, oh, Diane, sorry, yeah, control that, yeah.
I'd like to nominate Chuck Iovan.
Okay, and do we have a second? So, Tawadich? Okay, is this just a majority? Majority vote, okay.
Well, if there's no more, if there's more.
Yeah, are there any more nominations for chair? Any other nominations for chair? Going once, seeing and hearing none, we'll move on to the vote. The voice vote. So, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Seeing and hearing none, congratulations, Chuck, for your
Thank you
return
very
as
much.
chair.
Thank you, everyone. I appreciate your support all year, as always, and thank you very much for showing your confidence. Thank you. So Ken will turn it back to the chair.
Turn the election process back to our current and returning chair, Chuck Iovan.
Thank you. And what we'll do now is we'll take any nominations for vice chair.
I'd like to nominate Ken Antonucci.
Diane's nominated Ken Antonucci. Is there a second? Ronnie Verma.
I'd like to.
Well,
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to second that motion.
thank you. Ronnie, so Ronnie seconded the nomination of Ken Antonucci. Are there any other nominations for vice chair? No, seeing none, declare that part closed. And we'll take a voice vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Ken, congratulations on being voted vice chair.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And the next position is that of clerk. Are there any nominations for clerk? Ken Antonucci.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to nominate Diane Chuha for clerk.
Diane's been nominated for clerk. Is there any seconds? Is your thing on, Ron?
It is, yes, I'd like to second that motion, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. Ronnie seconded the nomination of Diane as clerk. Are there any other nominations for clerk? Seeing and hearing none, declare that part of the hearing closed. All those in favor of Diane for clerk, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Congratulations, Diane, on being renominated clerk.
And thank you.
Okay. Okay, so I don't believe there's any other old or new business. Michelle?
No.
Okay. The next meeting is scheduled for October 8th, which is the second Wednesday of October. Can't believe we're already into talking about Q4. But yes, so if anyone finds they do have a problem with October 8th, please let Michelle know as soon as possible so that we can plan accordingly. Okay, if there's no other business before the board, and I don't believe there is, motion to adjourn, Diane Chuha. Second. I'll second. Kenneth Tanucci seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries. We are in adjournment. Thank you very much, everyone.
That was a nice comeback meeting too. Wow.
One time it was like